about buying a watch through Layaway, stop. I'm serious. Layaway may look like a great resource, but it can cause so many problems for both you and the dealer that you're working with. And on this video, we're going to be talking about why. I would say, first and foremost, Layaway sucks because it ties up a lot of inventory. That inventory becomes a stalemate for the dealer, and in most cases, dealers will not do layaway unless they know you very well or they're charging you a premium for the item. So, I've done layaway in the past, not very frequently with people that we know and trust, and we've done a lot of business with. But in those cases, when we do that process, we always charge a fee on top of the price. And again, our policy with layaway is you pay the ask price. The reason being, I don't want to negotiate a price with you and then wait for weeks or months for my money. And layaway deals fall through a lot because, again, the reason why a lot of people do layaway is because they might not have the funds available. So basically, layaway is betting on yourself. And that is awesome, but we don't know what's going to happen. You might call the dealer in 6 months and say, hey, something came up. We had someone recently that a pipe burst in their house. And of course, that's important. That, of course, takes priority over buying a new watch. So, what does that client do if they give layaway and they opt into the layaway program and they've given $3,000 of a $5,000 item? In that case, you're just kind of screwed. And if you're smart as a dealer, most dealers will say, hey, listen, we will give some funds back when it comes to layaway, but for the most part, kind of 20%, whatever that percentage that you discussed is going to be lost because we're holding that item on your behalf. So, of course, and naturally, you are going to lose that deposit. So, the only thing worse than spending money and not getting the watch you want or being unhappy with your watch is spending money and not getting a watch at all. So that's the risk of layaway. And a lot of people will do layaway wrong. And they will ask for terms, even if they're relatively new. And they will pester the client, or they'll pester the dealer rather, or they will spend money that they don't have, which again, I love selling watches, but you want to be smart with it. You want to make sure that you are buying something within your means. And I think layaway opens the door for clients to buy things that are maybe outside of their price range, which can be great if done correctly. But 9 times out of 10, that deal will not go through because they're overreaching financially and something comes up. Let me tell you how to do layaway. Layaway is done correctly when you communicate, of course, with the dealer, but also when piece is a piece that is very hard to obtain. When clients reach out to me and they want to do layaway, I'm much more willing to do layaway on a custom diamond bezel Rolex than I am for a brand new Pepsi. I have this guy who reaches out to me every couple months, I'd say, and just reaches out and says, hey, I want a Pepsi. Sure, sir, we can get you a Pepsi, no problem. I want to buy it at the best price possible for me. Also, I want layaway. And again, we try to be respectful to all the clients we have, but after this client asks 2, 3, 4, 5 times for layaway, again, unfortunately, sir, we can't give you layaway on a recently discontinued hot item. Can I give you layaway on a engagement ring that's having one of my associates make on your behalf? Then you need a couple months to pay? Sure. Can I give you layaway on an item that maybe is listed for $2 or $3,000? We could, depending on what the item is and how quickly it can move. But that's another thing is these people will come in and they ask for layaway on a $50,000 item or a $40,000 item or multiple items in one shot. If you are wanting to do layaway, it's not going to be on your first transaction with the dealer. A lot of these dealers are small time dealers. They have pieces moving left and right, up and down every day, and it doesn't make sense to put an AP 15500 on layaway for a first time client. I might do something small. We had a very good client of ours ask us to put a tutor on layaway for his son for his college graduation. He reached out to us end of March. He said, "Hey, he graduates in May. I need some time to pay." No worries at all. At 6 weeks, that makes sense. But some of these guys will reach out and they'll say, "Oh, I want a meteorite Daytona, and I'm willing to pay you $1,000 a month till the package is paid off in full." And I think that's just crazy and ridiculous. That's an unnecessary risk that the dealer doesn't have to take. And it's at very minimal upside to that dealer. So that's just always something I keep in mind. I know a lot of times as a client, you're not always thinking about what the dealer has going on in the back of their mind, but I just find it really interesting, the process of layaway. I think that it kind of screws both parties because at the end of the day, the dealer has to now hold on to inventory, and the client is now overpaying for an item that, if you're like me, you lose interest in a couple months because we're watch guys. We love looking at watches, we love talking about watches, and today I really love the Tudor Burgundy, but next week, you know what? That Rolex Explorer really caught my eye, and that's just something to keep in mind. There's a way to do it, and I think it is a resource, but I think there are better resources out there when working with your dealer to make sure that you can get the best price possible. For us, we offer credit card, we offer crypto. You could do a trade. So many people, watches is to me, buying a watch can sometimes be a next cool shiny object syndrome. So they'll buy something and then they'll wear it for a couple weeks or a couple months, and then they put it in their case, or they put it in their drawer in their bedroom, and they forget about it. And so, how many of those watches do you have? How many of those watches that 4, 5, 10 years ago you were super hype about, and now your taste has changed? Maybe you like larger pieces, maybe you like smaller pieces, maybe you just don't like the watch that you're looking to trade in is has too much color, and you've kind of graduated to a more muted color palette when it comes to watch collecting. In that way, you can lower your cash output for the item and still be able to get the best price possible. And of course, as any dealer will tell you, the best price is always given when the transaction is easy. If you are doing a layaway deal, that best price is nowhere to be seen because it is a difficult transaction by its nature. Alternatively, or rather, as well, it's additional risk for the dealer because now I've got to keep an item in my safe and hope that nothing gets damaged, nothing gets lost in the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. I've had people even ask for 1 full year of a layaway, which is something else entirely, to purchase an item. And now I have to take on that risk of, if something gets lost or damaged, we have insurance, but they're giving me $1,000, or let's say 10% of the item, and I have to hold on to 90% of the item. And then if something happens to that item, I have to pay you out the full value because technically you purchased the item. And so it's just an unnecessary risk to a dealer. Apps that allow it, I know there's a couple apps that I think do allow you to pay later, like Klarna. Again, you use Stripe if you're looking to make a purchase on credit card, and we eat that fee for first time buyers. And so I think, even though it's a great tool in your resource kit, I definitely think way should be used as sparingly as possible when buying your first watch. You're never going to get the first, or you're never going to get the best deal possible. And it's always going to leave a bad taste in the mouth of the dealer if you're asking too much too soon. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you giving this a watch, and I hope to catch you in the next one. This has been Nick from Taylor Timepieces, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.